All right, we'll get started. Everybody's ready, and some folks will be joining in afterwards. But thank you for joining our webinar today. This is the Commerce Shop that's putting this on. My name is Nash Ogden. I'm one of the co-founders of the Commerce Shop here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we work with the e-commerce companies, people selling products online throughout the United States, and some companies that are international as well. Today I've got one of my partners here with me. If you can.
Yeah, I think everybody can see us. This is Satish here, and I'm one of the co-founders of Commerce Shop. Thanks for joining with us in this wonderful webinar this afternoon.
All right, is the volume loud enough? Can everybody hear us?
Guys, you can use the chat window here, like you can type in your questions. Because it's a webinar, we have muted everyone. But in case if you have any questions or if you're not clear, you can raise the questions on the chat. There's a separate person, Saravanan, is following up the chat. So please feel to put everything in the chat or raise hands so that we can address the issues.
And I will point out that Sarah runs a mobile division of Commerce Shop, which specializes in building mobile apps. It's not just e-commerce, but building mobile apps for e-commerce clients, as well as just mobile apps for anyone who needs them. Hey, everyone. All right. So I think we'll start just by giving you about 2 minutes about what the Commerce Shop is, and then we're going to dive into the rest of the seminar. Will be all about the meat of what mobile can do for you and what we've learned over the course of working with hundreds of clients and recommend for people that are looking to optimize their mobile online. Commerce Shop started about 10 years ago. We've been based in Atlanta. We're a division of a company called Enopal, so you'll see some of our emails have the name Innovative People on them, and others will have Commerce Shop, but we work closely together as a Commerce Shop is a brand under the umbrella of Enopal. I just introduced well, Satish spoke a little bit about himself. He's been with us from the start. He's one of our co-founders, and I'm originally from North Carolina. Been here in Atlanta for 27 years, running Commerce Shop for the past 11 years, and have built a great team here that's excited about e-commerce and excited about helping people grow their online businesses. We'll be kind of covering this. Satish is going to cover the meat of this. He runs the Commerce Shop division, so he's really going to get into it. Our experience stems around these primary platforms: Magento, Demandware, BigCommerce, Shopify, WooCommerce, and a couple of other custom platforms. But if you looked at this group, we're probably the majority of our experience has been with Magento, and then we have a large number of clients, hundreds in that nature in these other arenas. So one of the things that we do in working with our clients, obviously we do development. We're a full service shop, both agency we started as a development agency and then we added marketing shortly thereafter. So we do both the full service of development and the marketing services. And that's, these are, we'll send this presentation to everybody after this. If you will give us your email, we have your email, I think. We'll send it to you, so I'm not going to read this word for word, but we have a team that specializes just in marketing, and we have a much larger team that does development, as many as 100 people. So from this point, Satish, I want you to kind of take the lead. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Nash. Thanks again for everyone to join this call. Let's begin the show. On mobile, overall, if you take the e-commerce world is moving towards mobile. Everybody knows that. Initially, it was like mobile responsive approach. That's what people were following. But now it's going to be mobile first approach. So you have to design your site and all the elements with keeping in mind your mobile users. Because if you take the stats, like some of the interesting stats, like more than 48% of the conversions in the last year has been from mobile devices, and mostly 34% is from smartphones. Even some parts of the world where even people are placing orders from the even the non-smartphone. So still, mobile device play a big role in conversion, and at least 49% use the mobile phones to do research, to the price comparison. So always make sure that your site displays the product pricing and have the compare feature on mobile so that they can use your website more effectively, and at least 18 billion hours of time is being spent on the e-commerce site in the last 1 year in mobile devices, through mobile devices. And definitely by 2021, overall 17.5% of the transaction, retail transaction, will be happening through mobile. So we it's an important time for all the e-commerce store owners to spend a lot of time on the mobile speed and mobile conversion. A perfect website at least need 2% conversions from the mobile. So we'll give you some statistics on how to make it happen. The first thing that everybody would know is like your site speed. That's an important factor in terms of mobile conversions. Like your site should load at least in less than 3 seconds. There are various tools you can check in online. For example, tools like PageSpeed Insight, or there is another tool provided by Google called Test My Site, Think with Google. You can probably run a report about your site. It's a pretty free tool. You can clearly see what your site is doing, what's your mobile score, what's your desktop score. Even if your mobile score is going less than, not up to 80 to 90%, you can clearly see what's making your site to load slower. And if your site is not loading in 80 to 90, at least try to optimize the product page, your images, the JavaScript and CSS. There are a lot of various ways you can work in making a site more mobile friendly. And page speed is the key overall in any case, like not only the home page, even your product page, checkout page, and even your search page should load faster. People in mobile are so impatient. So it's highly important to make the site to load 3 seconds across all the formats of your page. Okay, now moving on to the next page is your home page. Many people make this mistake, like they try to load as many as elements that they have it on your desktop site, like your banner image, all the product images that you load, even the text content that you have on your desktop home page. People try to load them everything on the mobile phone. Purely, it's not required. For example, if you take a case of our client called Subcase, where they clearly just have an images of best-selling products and the banner images. Even if you take another client called Sinola, just they have a banner image and best-selling product. That's it. You don't need to have all the product images or confuse your customers with too many text. So having your home page to be more sleeky, and you can eliminate some elements if you don't want in mobile site. So those kind of options you can do. That's what we strongly recommend our clients. Check what elements your mobile customers want on your home page. Just have those kind of contents on the home page. Remove unwanted stuff. Let them load on desktop, because desktop people have more real estate and they can browse and they can see a lot of stuff. In mobile, you have very short span of time and a very less space. So try to provide them with better information and have them to look into the best-selling products there. So and also have the any important messages like free shipping, or if your SSL is going to be secure, site is secure, have those kind of messages to display on your home page at the top or somewhere, so that people are aware and they can make and purchase on your site more confidently. So that's something we personally recommend. And in case if you're trying to provide any product recommendations or personalized messages to your customers also, we strongly recommend on the home page information. So that's something we strongly recommend on the home page for better conversions for website. The next one is on the header menu. If you take a header menu, a lot of people again do the same mistake, like they take too much real estate on their home page, I mean the header section. See, in mobile, people are not going to scroll as much as you think. Just one or two swipes they can do, that's it. So have your header section like just maximum 20% of your home page, that's it, not more than that. Just have a logo and clear search bar and an hamburger menu where people can find all the categories and cart page. Even if you have any login information, have it at the top. That's it. No more cluttered home page where you have all the, at least your header itself shouldn't occupy at least 50% of your home page space. So make sure that within just 10 or 20%, that's the maximum. Don't load your site with more contents on the header section itself, because if you have more kind of space on the header section, it's going to be in all pages. Like even if you go to the product page, 50% of your header section is going to be your the unrelated stuff. So try to keep it within 10 to 20% so that users can see what information they want from your website. So try to optimize all these things. In case if you're having multi-site, you can follow the steps how Gap has done. Clearly, they have 3 different brands under the same website, and you can have those kind of tab switching, more easy for customers to switch tabs and browse the product. Okay. And the next one is basically the category page. As soon as the home page is done, people are looking for your categories, what kind of products they wanted to reach. Might be always follow a 3-tier, 3-layered navigation structure because people want to see the products within 2 to 3 clicks. So they don't want to wait for longer time. So always follow the category structure like that, like just 2 to 3 clicks, they should reach any product on the website. So be careful while designing the category structure. In case we have a lengthy category structure, if your users are going to click one by one to reach the product, they're obviously not going to do it. So make sure that your category pages are within the limit of 3 clicks. And even on your product page, I mean on the category page, try to load them in a 2-structure way, like that's again for the real estate, like each row can have 2 products at the max. That's the best thing we see. And make it more like a lazy loading so that people can, your users can browse them pretty easily. And also at a faster speed, the category page would be loading. So always implement the lazy loading and the 2 products per row kind of feature. That way it's easy for your users to navigate. And in case if you have any new arrivals or bestsellers, have that on the hamburger menu. So that way it would be easy for your customers to browse them pretty easily and place the orders in those categories. Okay, let me jump on to the product page. Again, this is the most important one, your product page. Like whenever your customers land onto your website, they want to see what kind of products, like images should be clickable. When you click, the images should zoom out, and right click, left click, they should be able to see the product. So make sure that you implement those kind of features, the zooming feature, clicking right swipe, left swipe, because images play a bigger role for conversions. So have that clearly in mind, and also have the sticky add to cart predominantly, because when someone is browsing the product and going to the entire website to the product page, they may not be able to come back to the actual add to cart button and place it. So always have it at the top. It's called sticky add to cart button, and people can, whenever they feel they're ready to make the purchase, they can add the product to the cart and make the purchase. And also the next thing I would say, like instead of having so many tabs, like if you're having like product details or description or even your reviews, try to have that in under a vertical tabs instead of some horizontal tabs, so that people can see like whatever information they want, they can click and see, read things, and they can go on to the next step. So that way, the space would be more utilized in a better way, and it would be easy for an customer to look into the things and browse and get the information. As soon as they feel comfortable, they can place the item into the cart. So the other stuff on the product page, we also look at it as people look for reviews. So make sure that you have your reviews displayed predominantly on near the image or somewhere close to the product description. So uh, that way people can easily make the purchase. They feel comfortable while they are making the purchase. Even if you have any sizes or different variants of about the product, try to display as much as close to your product images, so that they can switch the product images or product colors. All these things they can switch around on your website. Okay, and have a more clear SEO friendly product description on the product page, because Google is these days giving more importance to the mobile friendly product pages, and if your meta title is written properly on the mobile optimized pages, you will get more ranking when someone is searching for the product in Google. So try to have a better product page with the proper SEO meta title. You can get a better rankings in the search results too, on mobile search results. The next one is mostly on the buttons. Uh, Try to have the buttons to be more bigger in terms of mobile site, because the obvious reason is people cannot click if it is a small button, or if it is too small for a link to click. People will be struggling a lot. So we recommend you to click have a bigger buttons like this, like add to cart button. Even in a checkout page, try to have a bigger button so that they can use their thumb to place the orders or do the thumb operations properly. So always have bigger buttons across all the places on your website, that too on your mobile site. If in case if your desktop site is not that friendly, you can create mobile friendly buttons. So that way the buttons will be loading only on the mobile site. So and also use bright colors for your buttons, because if you are using a white color button or some other button where the background is not matching, people will be finding it difficult to click those things. So always choose a right color button to make your purchase to happen smoothly for your customers. So the next thing, the most important stuff on a mobile conversion is the search. Always have a predictive search kind of feature on your website. People don't have time on mobile. They just need to find the right products in one or two letters. For example, this client, one of our client, like when someone is typing just 2 to 3 letters, I can clearly see which product they wanted, and the users can go to the actual product page directly. So, and the site search speed should be less than 1 second, and mostly it should be predictable. Like the user can, if their recent searches are there, you can use those information, or based on the words they type, you can predict them what product they are looking for. Try to provide them better search results. And there are so many tools available in the market, like Algolia or Clevu. So all these tools provide such search experience. Try to have a better search experience, and even if your search page, if you're someone is typing in on any search results page, try to load like as many products possible, like in a similar to how we said about the category page. Try to have two products per each row and load it in a lazy loading. Have a better search filters so that people can navigate to the right product they want. Because it's difficult for some people to even click the tabs and look into the things. So they most probably your visitors should be looking at your search to find the right product. Have a better filter like this, like a separate view for search filters, so they can optimize or they can limit the time to search the product. So make sure you spend a lot of time on the search feed or site search. Have the autocomplete feature, recent searches feature, and have a better search filters so that the life of your customers in finding the product is more easier.
And as you were stating, Galgolia and Klebu and several other services are out there available relatively inexpensively, anywhere from $49 a month up, depending on the numbers of thousands of SKUs you have. But they're very affordable today. They index very quick and make the products be found instantly instead of over time.
Okay. All right. So the next one is all about the checkout. So the checkout, it's again an important element in the conversions. Like always try to have a limited number of clicks on the checkout. Maybe you can implement a one-step checkout, or make sure that in one or two pages they complete the orders. And in case if you're having any free shipping or if you want your customers to buy more, all these things you can display on checkout. Maybe a well-developed checkout page might be looking like this. Just in one page, they can complete all the information, they can place the order. So always make sure you don't have so many informations on the checkout page. Try to eliminate that. Try to provide them just an information page, like to enter their address, billing, and shipping information and place the order. Don't let's not have any more pages for the header section or any unrelated information. Don't display it on the checkout page. Try to eliminate the clutter on the checkout page. Yeah, you can use bold. Bold is a better checkout page that's predominantly people are using, and they also provide the payment. I mean your fraud check protection. They do that with a single page checkout. Maybe you can try to use bold for your website if it is something you can afford to work on. And the other stuff also, most important thing is we see is people also want, they don't have time to do the complete address writing. So try to have a Google Maps integration so that when someone is searching, the actual address pops up through Google Maps and they can make the purchase. So these are the ways that you can save time on the checkout page so that people can move on to the next page pretty easily. All right. So that's again about the Google Maps integration. Try to have the Google Maps on your checkout page, even on creating your account or store filter, store locations. Everywhere, try to have Google Maps integrated on your site so that it saves a lot of time of your customers, and they don't make your customers to type a lot or do a lot of clicks. That's the ultimate goal, and the most important thing, don't make them to wait for anything. Give them more instant as much as possible. So the next one is all about the breadcrumbs. Try to have a better breadcrumbs at the top. Don't clutter too much information on your product page, or even if you take a look at the product page of a client. Try to have just one or two links on the product page. That's it. Even if you don't have a a breadcrumb, you can leave that, but just don't have too many space taken by the breadcrumb itself. Like if you have 4 categories, you don't need to display all those links of those 4 categories here and occupy 10 to 15% of your real estate. So try to have just one line for breadcrumb. That's it. If you can shorten all the information that you want to provide, try to do that. If you don't have that, it's fine. People can go back or click the category section and go back. But make sure that you cover the breadcrumb in just 1 or 2 lines maximum. Okay, and the next thing is all about the image optimization. So mobile, as we said like earlier, like it cannot handle too much weight. Like if your site is loading, if your page weight is 5 MB or 6 MB, obviously your site is going to load slower, and it might be more than 3 seconds or even 10 seconds. So try to make your site to be more lightweight. Have hero images reduced for mobile, even your best-selling product images, try to reduce the image size for mobile, give a better server caching, have a proper CDN implemented on your site. Make sure that your site is loading the images like after your site web pages are loaded. Like there are strategies like you don't need to wait for images to load your site. You can just load your site, then slowly the images can appear. So that way the users don't have to wait for the images or don't have to wait for the entire site to load completely to make the purchase. So make the site to load faster. The images play a bigger role for conversion. At the same time, they are the one which make the site to load slower. So spend quality time on your caching strategy, what kind of CDN you are using on your site, and make them more effective so that your actual customers don't have to wait for everything. So there are so many tools like Cloudflare or Mac CDN, so many CDNs out there, and even server caching like uh, Red Hat and so many server caching techniques out there. Try to use them. Like Varnish, server caching is more famous these days. Try to use them. Try to make it more optimized for images to load faster on your website.
And I'll just throw out one other mention. SiteLock is a protection tool, which is one of the largest in the world. It includes CDN services within their service. So if you're not currently using that, that might be something to look at too.
Next one is that's more famous these days is the progressive web apps. Like you don't need to have the old days of having a separate mobile app. Those kind of things are going out or it's getting outdated. Like mobile progressive web apps is the future of the mobile commerce. Even if you take Magento, they have a PWA Studio just for mobile websites. What it does is the entire website can be loaded like a mobile app, and it's like in your website when the first time when someone is browsing your site, it loads like a small icon on their mobile devices. So the next time when they click the icon, the site loads faster. You can send push notifications, and they can have a similar experience of a mobile app on your existing website. So PWA, it's again a separate kind of studio that you have to follow, and you can make your site to look PWA compliant, and your site can send push notification and whatever you have with the mobile app like location finding or even your camera, enabling the camera feature. All these things are possible with the PWA Studio. So that's going to be the future of all the e-commerce, mobile commerce sites. So try to implement and at least have a plan to implement in the next 1 or 2 years the PWA on your website. Okay. And AMP, this is more for sites that are selling products that are like home design, interior design kind of products, or so many carousels. AMP is more for people. Even Google wants more sites to be AMP enabled. Like the users doesn't need to even come to your website. They can see everything from the Google pages itself. So everything would be cached so that when someone is searching for a product like home interior designs, your search page will come. When they click, they can see the products and the information is pretty faster. And when they want to make a purchase, they can click and they can come back to your site. So this is again, uh, people were earlier using AMP, but people are right now migrating towards PWA. AMP still some industries are following it, but we strongly recommend PWA to be the future. And the next thing is all about mobile payment gateway. If you're like these days, people are using the Apple Pay and Google Pay a lot. So try to have as the other payment gateways like Visa, Mastercard, and PayPal also, but always implement Apple Pay and Google Pay. You don't need to wait for the entire checkout pages. The customers, within the click, they can select the Apple Pay and they can make purchase. Shopify has brought it as a default feature. All you have to do is enable it, Apple Pay and Google Pay. Your websites will automatically be accepting the payments for Apple Pay and Google Pay. So we have even seen a conversion rate of increasing 20% with Apple Pay and Google Pay in place. So try to implement that as soon as possible. People hate entering the credit card. The time spent in finding the card, entering the details, all these are too cumbersome for the users. So many millennials are preferring to pay through Google Pay and Apple Pay from the cards. Okay, the next one is about the augmented reality. So again, this is the most exciting technology introduction for the interior designing space, home design, interior design space, even furniture products. People can see what the products look in real life. They can see the 360-degree of the product and see how the product fits in the room, whether the size of the product is proper for them to make a purchase. They can make all these kind of decisions and they can pretty confidently make a purchase. There are a lot of products coming out. Even Shopify has released the product, the AR as a default feature for the customers. Like people can make a purchase from the website itself. So if you go to shopify.ar, you can clearly see this product. You can see the interior, the detailed information about your product across all angles. So if you have a 3D images of your product, try to use the AR experience provided by Shopify. Even there are so many platforms are coming up these days that can make your site to be more AR enabled on your website. Okay. So the next one, that's again most important thing is try to have an SMS messages, sending out SMS messages for your customers. Like when someone is coming to your site and they are making a purchase and they are trying to leave the site, or if they leave the site, try to send them an SMS messages stating, text messages stating that hey, it's we have your product stored in the cart. Make a purchase now and get a 20% coupon or 20% off or 10% off, whatever that makes the users to come back to your site. Try to send them messages, text messages. We see a lot of increase in conversions, people using the text messaging programs. There are so many tools out there which you can integrate. Try to collect the phone numbers of your customers. Obviously, people who are coming to the checkout, if you are losing 50% of your customers on the checkout page, definitely text messaging program can make your customers to come back to your site, make the purchase easier. And the other important stuff is you can retarget your customers. and it's one of the best tools we have seen. So try to use that, and definitely when someone is signing up with you and giving the phone number, they accept the terms that they are ready to receive messages from you. So you're following the actual guidelines, so there is no issues in sending out text messages for your existing customers or the prospects who have given shared the phone numbers with you. Okay, and the next one is about the push notifications. If you have a mobile app, or in case if you're having any, if you have implemented PWA, you can send text push notifications to your customers if you are having any best sale or any events on your website. Those kind of messages you can push to the customers through push notification, and there is a significant increase in people receiving push notification. They predominantly come to your website and see what kind of sales is going on, and they can make a purchase. That's why we said try to have a PWA in place. But in case if you're having a mobile app, definitely try to use the feature of push notification. There are a lot of tools out there that helps you in sending out mass push notification messages to your customers. And even in case if you're someone is abandoning the cart, push notification messages can be automated to make them to come back to the site.
There's another note on push notifications. We've seen several customers successfully use it with their loyalty programs. Case in point was a client that was a wine store, and obviously wine is you run out when in order to he wanted his best customers to get his last best bottles, and he wanted to make sure that happened. So he would send them their push notifications alerting them that this is the last chance to get these particular vintages. And it was very successful, and we built a lot of brand loyalty that way.
All right. And the next one is about, again, as we say, like the overall mobile optimization, everything is to provide an omnichannel experience for your customers. These days, customers are going to be on mobile more often than you assumed earlier. So try to create the same kind of experience on your website. Like if your website is following the color, pattern, the font style, try to match the same kind of experience on your mobile so that they feel the omnichannel experience, and even your site should, like when they place an order in mobile or in store, overall experience for a customer should be seamless so they can trust your brand and make your come back to your site again and again, make the orders, more orders on your site. So try to have the same kind of branding or the value across all your different platforms the same. So try to have the omnichannel experience for your customers a better one. And some of the case study we want to share is something like we have a customer called iBlason, and they have two sites like Subcase and iBlason. We just optimized the site just for mobile alone. So we see a significant increase on the conversion rate. Like on the mobile side itself, they have grown three times their conversion rate. Like they were having just 0.3% on the conversion rate before implementing the mobile optimized website. Now they are at 1.3%. So they've increased the revenue from mobile site significantly. And all we did is just make the website product pages, home page, the search, revamp the design pages, and implemented the mobile checkout, mobile payment gateway like Apple Pay and Google Pay on the website, and we have seen a significant increase on the conversions. And a similar client called Southern Labware, for the same, we implemented fixed the security issues that were displayed on the mobile site, implemented Amazon Pay, optimized the page speed, did a better CDN migration, did a better caching. All these things we implemented, and we saw a significant increase on the conversion rate. So it's pretty easy to add your customers on how they browse on the mobile site. There's so many tools out there like InspectLed, ClickTail, see how your customers are using your mobile website, on which point they are leaving. If they are leaving on checkout page, obviously you have to implement the Apple Pay and Google Pay to reduce the checkout clutters. So learn about your customers and decide what would be the best one for them and optimize those things. We have covered so many strategies. Not all would be useful for all industries, but most of them would be suitable for all for most of the customers. So try to study your mobile users and then implement the right strategy for you. And at any point of time, would be happy to help you out there. So that's what I have. So yeah, go ahead. If you have any questions, please raise those questions in the chat. Would be happy to answer your questions.
While we're waiting for a few questions, I will point out that we have plans to help people do conversion rate optimization on their sites. They can be as simple as $1,000 a month, and they can go as high as $6,000 a month. So it really depends how deep you want to get into it, and how important conversion rate optimization is to you. But we'd love to talk to you about it, and we will do an audit for you if you would like us to audit your site. That's something that if you're a participant in this webinar, we'll do a complimentary audit. Just let us know.
Yeah, we got a first question like, will my site look different? Like, can I have a different site like m.xx.com, something like that? So I would say like there is no more way of having two different sites these days, because even Google wants one website or only one URL. So don't try to have too many URLs for your same web page, because it might look like a duplicate for Google. So always have one URL and make the website to look mobile friendly, or try to follow a mobile first approach.
Yeah, I think
that's the best thing I'll say.
Yeah, the response here would be, if you are doing a mobile first approach, your URL will not change. You will still have the same URL for the mobile view, and it is not like two different URLs. The URL is the same, but you still have a mobile view and mobile first approach.
Okay. So the next question is about the search. For search, it's the question is like, what kind of services would be better? As I said in the call, like you can go for Algolia search or Clevo. Anyway, we are going to share this presentation where we will mention what kind of search you have. We'd be happy to help you out, see how your searches. In case if there is a need for a better solution for your website. Again, it also depends on your customers, how they are using your search. So we can definitely do an audit on your search experience and provide you the solution for your search.
And you might need a custom configuration tool. We've built in certain industries, and I know in the automotive industry, we've built custom configuration tools to help in the search, to narrow down by part number, by VIN, by make, model, etc. So that's another thought. Depends on your industry.
Okay. Any other questions? Right.